Have you ever wondered why some people seem to defy aging performing feats that leave others their age in awe? Picture this: after 70, only a tiny 5% of seniors can still move with ease, think with razor-sharp clarity, and live with energy that rivals their younger years. These aren't just fortunate outliers, they've mastered habits and lifestyles that keep them stronger, sharper, and more vibrant than most can imagine. In this video, we're uncovering the 5 incredible things these rare individuals can still do and the secrets behind their extraordinary longevity and health. Stick with us until the end, because you'll discover practical steps you can start today to unlock these same abilities for yourself. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you liked this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Number 1. Maintaining full mobility without assistance. For them, majority of individuals reaching the age of 70 often brings an acceptance of certain physical limitations, particularly in the realm of mobility. Joints may stiffen, muscles may weaken, and the simple act of moving freely can become a challenge. However, an exceptional minority, those within the top 5%, defy these expectations. These individual UALs continue to navigate their daily lives with ease, walking briskly without a hitch in their step, bending down to tie a shoe or pick up an object, climbing stairs without a second thought, and transitioning from sitting to standing without the slightest hint of stiffness or hesitation. This remarkable ability isn't solely a gift of fortunate genetics, though that may play a role instead. It's largely the product of deliberate lifelong habits that prioritize the maintenance of flexible joints, robust muscle strength, and impeccable balance. One of the foundational reasons these seniors retain such fluid mobility is their unwavering commitment to consistent physical activity. For them, movement isn't an occasional choice, it's an ingrained, non-negotiable part of their routine. Whether it's a daily regimen of stretching to keep their ligaments, limber strength training to bolster muscle mass, or simply avoiding the sedentary trap of prolonged sitting, they understand that staying mobile requires proactive effort. Stiffness, instability, and frailty don't appear suddenly old. They are the cumulative result of years, even decades, of neglect and inactivity. The stark contrast between someone who moves with the agility of a person 20 years their junior and someone who struggles to perform basic tasks like rising from a chair or walking across a room often boils down to how they've nurtured their physical health over lifetime. Consider Richard, a 74-year-old retired school teacher who exemplifies this principle every morning without fail. He sets out on a 3-mile walk, his stride steady and purposeful. Twice a week he heads to the golf course, winging clubs and traversing the greens with the energy of a much younger man. Richard attributes his sustained mobility to a simple, steadfast rule: never let a single day pass without some form of physical movement. While many of his contemporaries have resigned themselves to using canes for support or shying away from activity out of fear of falls or injury, Richard actively challenges his body. He keeps his muscles engaged, his joints lubricated, and his coordination sharp. Yet maintaining this level of mobility isn't just about staying active in a general sense, it's about the quality and variety of movement. The seniors who truly stand out in their later years don't limit themselves to strolls around the block. They integrate a diverse array of exercises into their lives: stretching routines to maintain flexibility, balance, drills to prevent falls, and resistance training to combat the natural muscle loss that accompanies aging. Scientific studies underscore the value of this approach, demonstrating that even light resistance exercises can significantly slow sarcopenia, the age-related decline in muscle mass, preserving strength in the legs, core, and back. Those in the top 5% recognize the importance of these targeted movements and make them a priority, ensuring their bodies remain capable of meeting life's physical demands. Another critical yet often overlooked factor in their success is posture. Poor alignment, whether from slouching in a chair or hunching while walking, places undue stress on the spine, hips, and knees, paving the way for chronic pain and unrestricted motion. The rare few who retain full mobility well into their 70s and beyond are acutely aware of how they carry themselves. They sit upright, stand tall, and walk with intention, engaging their core muscles to support their frame. Richard, for instance, has made it a personal habit to periodically check his posture throughout the day, whether he's striding along his morning route or relaxing in his favorite armchair at home. His philosophy is straightforward, yet profound. Treat your body as if you're decades younger than your chronological age the moment you begin to act old, shuffling instead of stepping, slumping. Instead of standing, you signal to your body that decline is acceptable, and it responds in kind by refusing to give into that mindset. Richard and others like him keep their physical capabilities intact, proving that mobility in old age is as much a matter of attitude as it is of action. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 2. Staying mentally sharp and quick-witted, a nimble, agile mind. In old age isn't merely a stroke of good fortune, it's the reward of disciplined, intentional habits, cultivated over years. As many seniors advance into their later decades, they notice a gradual erosion of cognitive faculties. Memories become harder to retrieve, focus wavers, and the ability to follow complex discussions dims. Yet a select few, again, that top 5% stand apart. These individuals think with the speed and clarity of their younger selves, recalling names, dates, and details with ease, and engaging in intricate conversations without missing a beat. What sets them apart isn't some inherent immunity to aging, but rather their proactive approach to keeping their minds honed and vibrant for them. The brain is a muscle that thrives on regular, vigorous exercise. Cognitive decline, contrary to popular belief, isn't an unavoidable fate. More often, it's the consequence of mental complacency. Years spent allowing the mind to idle, unchallenged by new ideas or complex problems. Those who remain sharp into their 70s and beyond understand this. Implicitly, they treat their intellect as a dynamic tool, one that requires constant sharpening through learning, critical thinking, and creative exploration. Take Edward, a 76-year-old retiree whose mental prowess is nothing short of inspiring. While many of his peers grapple with forgotten names or drift off mid-conversation, Edward devours dense, thought-provoking books, picks up new skills like a second language or a craft, and plays chess every day with a competitive edge. His mind remains a well-oiled machine, quick, precise, and adaptable, not because he was born with exceptional talent, but because he spent decades training it. Research backs up his approach. Activities that demand deep concentration and problem-solving, such as reading challenging literature, mastering a musical instrument, or debating nuanced topics, have been shown to bolster neural connections and slow the progression of cognitive aging. The key lies in pushing the brain beyond the comfort of routine. Passive pastimes like flipping through TV channels or sticking to familiar, repetitive tasks offer little in the way of mental growth. True stimulation comes from pursuits that require active engagement, solving a tricky puzzle, analyzing a philosophical argument, or adapting to unfamiliar situations. Social interaction is another cornerstone of mental vitality that these exceptional seniors leverage to their advantage. The brain flourishes in environments where ideas bounce back and forth, where humor keeps it light, and where differing viewpoints spark debate. Studies consistently show that older adults with robust social networks exhibit better cognitive function than those who retreat into isolation. Edward, for example, deliberately seeks out conversations with people of all ages, particularly younger individuals, whose perspectives keep him on his toes. He thrives in these exchanges. His wit is as quick as ever, because they force his mind to stay flexible and responsive. Beyond social engagement, he supplements his routine with brain-teasing activities like crosswords, memory exercises, and strategic games, not out of obligation, but out of a deep-seated belief that mental agility is a prize worth earning. Sleep, often underestimated, plays an equally vital role in this equation. Deep restorative sleep is the brain's nightly reset button, essential for consolidating memories, processing new information, and repairing neural pathways. Yet many seniors contend with fragmented sleep, leaving their minds foggy and sluggish. Those who remain sharp, however, prioritize sleep hygiene with the same diligence they apply to their daytime habits, maintaining consistent bedtimes, minimizing distractions, and creating an environment conducive to rest when you weave together these elements. Lifelong learning, intellectual challenges, rich social connections, and quality sleep. You forge a mind that resists the ravages of time. This is the dividing line between those who stay mentally vibrant and those who slip into the haze of forgetfulness, a commitment to treating the brain as a living, evolving entity, not a relic of the past. Number 3. Maintaining strong, pain-free joints without medication. For the vast majority of individuals, aging seems to come with an inevitable companion, joint pain, as the years pile on. Aching knees, stiff hips, creaky shoulders, and restricted mobility often settle in as unwelcome, but expected guests. Most people accept this as an unavoidable part of growing older, resigned to a future of discomfort and limitations. Yet there exists a remarkable minority, approximately 5% of seniors, who defy this common trajectory. These individuals manage to maintain robust, flexible, and pain-free joints well into their later decades, all without depending on medications, injections, or invasive surgeries to get by. What sets this elite group apart? The secret lies not in some stroke of genetic luck or access to cutting-edge medical interventions, but in their proactive approach. They don't sit idly by waiting for the first twinge of pain or stiffness to signal a problem. Instead, they begin safeguarding their joint health long before any serious issues arise, treating their bodies with care and foresight. While the average person might shrug off joint deterioration as an inescapable consequence of aging, scientific evidence paints a different picture. Research consistently shows that with the right combination of regular, movement-targeted nutrition and intentional lifestyle habits, it's possible to preserve joint function and sidestep the pain that so many others endure. Consider Robert, a vibrant 74-year-old, who exemplifies this approach. He moves through life with a knee that belies his age, walking briskly, without a limp, bending down to tie his shoes or pick up a dropped item without a grimace, and waking up each morning free of the stiffness that plagues so many of his peers. Unlike most, Robert never brushed off subtle signs of discomfort as just part of getting older, rather than waiting for problems to escalate. He took action early and stuck with it, making small but impactful changes that have paid off over decades. One of Robert's cornerstone habits is prioritizing low-impact movement. He's long understood that a sedentary lifestyle is one of the greatest threats to joint health. Prolonged sitting or inactivity allows joints to stiffen and muscles to weaken, setting the stage for pain and immobility. To counter this, Robert keeps his body in motion with a daily routine that includes activities like swimming, brisk walking, and gentle stretching exercises. These aren't grueling workouts, but deliberate choices designed to promote circulation, maintain flexibility, and keep his joints well lubricated. High-impact activities, like running or jumping, might hasten joint wear and tear for some, but low-impact options nourish the cartilage and social fluid that keep joints resilient and smooth. Moving beyond movement, Robert pays close attention to what he puts into his body, recognizing that joint health is deeply tied to nutrition. Inflammation is a major driver of joint pain and cartilage breakdown. So he's built his diet around foods that fight it. He regularly eats fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, along with walnuts and flax seeds, all rich in omega-3 fatty acids known to reduce inflammation and ease stiffness. He also steers clear of the dietary pitfalls that trap so many seniors: excessive sugar, refined carbohydrates, and heavily processed foods that quietly fuel inflammation and accelerate joint damage, while others might unknowingly exacerbate their discomfort with pro-inflammatory meals. Those in the top 5%, like Robert, opt for whole, nutrient-dense foods that support long-term mobility and comfort. Hydration is another unsung hero in Robert's joint health regimen, and it's a factor too, often overlooked. The cartilage that cushions bones within joints is composed largely of water, acting as a shock absorber to prevent grinding and friction when hydration levels drop. This cushioning effect weakens, leaving joints vulnerable to stiffness and pain. Robert makes it a point to drink plenty of water throughout the day, not just when he's thirsty, ensuring his cartilage stays plump and functional. This simple habit, consistently applied, helps his joints retain their ability to move smoothly and absorb everyday stresses. Posture and alignment round out Robert's strategy, revealing yet another layer of mindfulness that keeps him pain-free. Years of slouching, hunching over desks, or standing unevenly can throw the body out of balance, placing undue strain on joints and wearing them down prematurely. Robert counters this. By staying aware of how he holds himself, whether sitting, standing, or walking, he incorporates gentle mobility exercises like shoulder rolls, spinal twists, and hip stretches into his routine to maintain proper alignment and prevent compensatory stress on his knees, hips, or back. This attention to form isn't about vanity. It's about function, ensuring his joints bear weight evenly and operate as they're designed to. Ultimately, Robert's story, and that of the top 5%, isn't one of the expensive therapies, miracle supplements, or rare good fortune. It's about consistency and intention. These seniors keep their joints strong and pain-free through habits that are accessible to anyone willing to adopt them. Regular low-impact activity, an anti-inflammatory diet, adequate hydration, and mindful posture. They prove that mobility in old age isn't a roll of the dice but a direct result of how one chooses to live day after day. By taking charge of their joint health proactively, they enjoy a quality of life that others might only dream of, moving freely and comfortably well past the point where most have surrendered to pain. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 4. Retaining quick reflexes and sharp coordination. For the average person, aging brings a noticeable slowdown in physical responsiveness. After 70, reaction times tend to lag, objects slip from hands and hit the floor, balance wavers on uneven ground, and movements grow tentative and cautious. These shifts often feel like an inevitable decline, a natural part of the body winding down. Yet a small but impressive 5% of seniors defy this trend, retaining the kind of agility, quick reflexes, and precise hand-eye coordination that would rival someone decades younger. Far from being a gift of chance, their ability to stay sharp and reactive stems from deliberate, consistent efforts to keep their nervous system and muscles finely tuned. This isn't just about dodging minor inconveniences like dropping a pen or tripping over a rug. Quick reflexes and coordination are critical for preventing life-altering falls, maintaining independence, and preserving a sense of vitality. These seniors grasp that staying responsive isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for navigating the world safely and confidently. Take Georgia, 76-year-old, who moves with the alertness and fluidity of a man in his 50s. When a glass slips from his grip, he snatches it out of the air before its hatters stepping off a curb. He adjusts his footing in an instant, avoiding a stumble. His actions are smooth, controlled, and remarkably swift, a testament to a body and mind that refuse to slow down. George's secret lies in never letting his reflexes fade through neglect. While most people gradually abandon activities that challenge their coordination as they age, he's kept his nervous system engaged with purposeful everyday practices. One of his go-to habits is rapid eye tracking, exercises following a moving object like a bouncing ball or a swaying pendulum. With his gaze, this simple drill sharpens the connection between his eyes and brain, keeping his visual motor coordination razor sharp. He also incorporates quick reaction tasks into his day, such as tossing a tennis ball against a wall and catching it, or tapping his feet in a rhythmic pattern to maintain agility in his lower body. These aren't elaborate workouts, but small, consistent challenges that keep his reflexes primed. Physical exercise is a cornerstone of George's approach, and he knows that strength alone won't cue it. Coordination and speed require specific attention. His routine includes balance drills like standing on one leg or walking, heel-to-toe fast-paced stepping exercises to boost footwork, and light agility work to keep his movements nimble. Core strength is another priority, as a stable midsection anchors the body, enabling quicker, more controlled reactions. While many seniors overlook balance and agility training, leaving them vulnerable to falls, those in the top 5%, like George, actively condition their bodies to stay steady and responsive, reducing risks and enhancing confidence. Diet and hydration play surprisingly significant roles in George's ability to stay quick on his feet. He avoids excessive alcohol, sugary drinks, and processed foods, all of which can dull nervous system responses and cloud reaction times. Instead, he fuels his body with nutrients that support brain and muscle function. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish and nuts for nerve health, B vitamins from leafy greens and whole grains for energy and coordination, and antioxidants from berries to protect against cognitive decline. Hydration TUIs, non-negotiable. Even mild dehydration can sluggish nerve signals and sap reflexes. So George drinks water consistently, ensuring his body's communication pathways fire efficiently. Sleep is the final piece of the puzzle, and it's one George guards fiercely. Quality rest isn't just about recharging, it's when the brain refines motor skills, processes reaction patterns, and repairs neural connections. Poor sleep, on the other hand, leads to slower reflexes, clumsiness, and foggy coordination. To protect his rest, George sticks to a steady sleep schedule, limits screen time before bed to avoid blue light disruption, and creates a calm environment for deep restorative slumber. This commitment to sleep hygiene keeps his mind and body in sync, ready to respond at a moment's notice. In the end, seniors like George, who retain quick reflexes and sharp coordination, don't simply coast on good genes or youthful habits, they fight for it. They engage their minds and bodies with intention, weaving small but powerful practices into their daily lives through targeted movement, smart nutrition, proper hydration, and restful sleep. They keep their nervous systems humming and their muscles responsive. As a result, they move through the world with a grace and assurance that others lose over time, proving that agility in old age is less about luck and more about choice. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 3 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Number 5, maintaining a strong pain-free back. For the vast majority of people, back pain is an unwelcome companion that creeps in with age, becoming an almost inevitable part of growing older. What begins as a subtle, occasional dull ache in the lower back or a faint stiffness in the morning often progresses into something more persistent: discomfort that lingers throughout the day, sharp twinges that interrupt simple tasks, and for many, a significant reduction in mobility that reshapes their daily lives by their 60s or 70s. Countless seniors find themselves wincing as they rise from a chair, hesitating before bending to tie a shoe or avoiding activities they once loved, all because their spine seems to protest every move. Yet amidst this common narrative, there exists an exceptional minority, roughly 5% of older adults, who defy this fate entirely. These individuals navigate their later years with a strong, pain-free back, moving with a grace and ease that bell their age. They stand tall with impeccable posture, walk confidently without a hint of a limp, and live their lives unconstrained by the spinal woes that plague so many of their peers. What sets this elite group apart? It's not merely a stroke of good fortune or a genetic gift handed down from their ancestors, though those factors can play a role. Rather, their secret lies in a purposeful, consistent approach to spinal health rooted in a collection of deliberate habits that safeguard the spine, preserve its flexibility, and bolster the strength of the muscles that support it well into their 70s, 80s, and beyond. Consider Richard, a 74-year-old who exemplifies this rare breed at an age when many of his contemporaries shuffle cautiously or lean on canes. Richard stands erect, his shoulders squared and his spine unbowed by time. He rises from chairs without agrown bends to retrieve a dropped item without a flicker of hesitation, and carries himself with the poise of someone decades younger. While most seniors experience back pain as a constant undercurrent to even the simplest movements, Richard moves freely, his days unmarred by the stiffness or soreness that others accept as normal. So how does he do it? Richard's success isn't the result of a single miraculous fix, but a thoughtful, multifaceted strategy that keeps his spine in top condition. At the heart of his approach is a commitment to regular stretching, but not just any stretching. He targets specific areas critical to spinal health with precision and intent every morning. He spends time loosening his lower back, hips, and hamstrings, counteracting the tightness that often builds with age. Tight hamstrings, for instance, can tug relentlessly on the pelvis, tilting it backward and placing undue strain on the lumbar spine, a common culprit behind lower back pain. Similarly, stiff hips can disrupt natural movement patterns, forcing the spine to compensate in ways that lead to discomfort or injury over time. Richard's routine includes gentle, effective stretches like seated hip openers, hamstring stretches with a strap, and mild back extensions that elongate the spine. These daily practices, requiring just 10 to 15 minutes, keep his muscle supple, his joints mobile, and his back free of the tension that so often spirals into chronic pain. Beyond flexibility, Richard understands that strength is the backbone, quite literally, of a pain-free old age. Weak core muscles, a leading contributor to spinal issues among seniors as they leave the spine vulnerable to strain and poor alignment. To combat this, Richard incorporates targeted strength training into his week, focusing on the deep abdominal muscles, lower back, and glutes, the unsung heroes that form the spine's natural support system. Exercises like planks, which he holds for 30 seconds at a time, engage his transverse abdominis, stabilizing his midsection. Bridges strengthens his glutes and lower back, while slow, controlled standing movements such as partial squats reinforce his ability to move without compromising his posture. These exercises don't require a gym or fancy equipment. Richard does them at home with nothing more than his body, weight, and a yoga mat. The result: a robust core that holds his spine steady, preventing the slouched shoulders and rounded back that so often signal the onset of pain. The movement itself is another pillar of Richard's spinal health. Unlike many seniors who unwittingly sabotage their backs by spending hours seated, whether watching TV, eating, or simply resting, Richard makes a conscious effort to avoid prolonged stillness hours of sitting, especially with poor posture. Compress the spinal discs, weaken the surrounding muscles, and accelerate degeneration. Richard counters this by breaking up his day with frequent movement every hour or so. He stands, stretches lightly, and takes a brief walk, sometimes just around his living room, other times a lap around the block. Even when he must sit, he's mindful of his posture, keeping his shoulders relaxed but back, his chin slightly tucked, and his core subtly engaged to support his lower spine. This habit not only preserves his spinal alignment but also boosts circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients to the tissues that keep his back resilient. Richard's diet plays an equally vital role in his back longevity. Complementing his physical efforts with nutritional support, he prioritizes foods rich in nutrients that fortify bones and connective tissues, collagen from bone broth or supplements to maintain joint elasticity, calcium from leafy green and dairy to bolster bone density, and magnesium from nuts and seeds to relax muscles and reduces stiffness. Hydration is non-negotiable. He drinks plenty of water daily to keep his spinal discs plump and cushioned. These discs, which act as shock absorbers between the vertebrae, rely on water to maintain their height and flexibility. Dehydration can leave them brittle, heightening the risk of pain and degeneration. By nourishing his body this way, Richard ensures that his spine has the raw materials it needs to stay strong. And perhaps most crucially, Richard listens to his body with an attentiveness that many overlook. He doesn't brush off minor twinges or dismiss early signs of tension as just part of getting old. If he feels a hint of stiffness creeping into his lower back after a long day, he's swiftly applying a heating pad to relax the muscles, easing into a gentle stretch, or simply resting in a spine-friendly position like lying flat with a pillow under his knees. This proactive mindset stands in stark contrast to the approach of many seniors who ignore discomfort until it festers into a chronic condition requiring medication or medical intervention. Richard's vigilance nips potential problems in the bud, keeping his back in a state of balance and ease. The takeaway is clear: maintaining a strong, pain-free back well past 70 isn't an unattainable dream reserved for the lucky few. It's a realistic goal achievable through daily care and intention. The top 5% of seniors who enjoy this freedom don't passively accept back pain as an inevitable birth burden of aging. Instead, they take ownership of their spinal health, weaving together movement, strength, flexibility, nutrition, and mindfulness into a lifestyle that empowers their backs to support them for decades. Richard's story and the habits behind it proves that with consistent effort, the spine can remain a pillar of strength, not a source of limitation, no matter how many candles grace the birthday cake. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the habits of the remarkable 5% of seniors who defy aging with strength, sharpness, and vitality. We've explored the secrets behind their full mobility, mental clarity, pain-free joints, quick reflexes, and strong backs, proving that these gifts aren't just luck, but the rewards of intentional living. Now we'd love to hear from you. What have you learned so far? Please comment below with one thing that stood out to you and how you plan to bring it into practice in your own life. Your insights inspire us and others. If you like this video, please leave your comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content to inform and empower you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.